Darren Carter for the Premiership. The Premiership!
Well, hello and welcome to another edition of Carter's Corner, where we preview the upcoming Blues fixture. Of course, we'll take a look back at the Millwall results as well, but a quick turnaround for this one. On the road again, this time to face a rejuvenated Sheffield Wednesday side. Blues unbeaten in the last three visits to Hillsborough, a decent hunting ground for Blues, but the last win 3 years ago. And as we say, a rejuvenated Wednesday side awaits. Darren Carter, of course, joins us. And Carter, word on the Millwall game. You covered it for Blues TV. I think everyone's in agreement that the effort was certainly there from the players. We didn't get the result to go with it. Tough to take positives when you're losing games, but did you take anything from the fact that it looked like the players were still fighting out there?
Yeah, I think the one thing you can take is the endeavour, the work rate, the work ethic. They looked like they were fighting for each other. That we looked like a solid team first half. To take away obviously the mistake at the very beginning from San Jose, but we looked strong, and I thought we were the better side in that first half. In the second, obviously, it was a little bit more balanced, a little bit more even. And I think it, really showed what has been one of our Achilles heels this year is scoring goals and getting in and around, the 18-yard box and creating chances. It was only really Juki's effort in the second half. It was a great save from the keeper, but we never really asked, too many questions of the Millwall defence. So, when you're not creating chances at one end, and then obviously individual mistakes at the other, are costing the team dearly at the moment. So, but all the things that, the non-negotiables, I call them, going into games is that you work hard, you give everything, and you've certainly seen that from the players. So, there's fight there, but now we need to add a little bit of quality, especially in that final third, because we need to start scoring some goals.
Yeah, you've touched upon it heavily there, and it was two up top. I think the gaffer made 5 changes. He's gone with 3-5-2. I think partially to match up Millwall as well, who have played it for most of the season. But is it about the ammunition, the supply line to the likes of Lukas Jukovic and Scott Hogan that was perhaps missing on the night?
Yeah, I think it was the quality. I must have said it probably 20 times on comms, and we got into some really good crossing positions, and Millwall, didn't really press with an intensity, especially first half, and we had plenty of time to measure and get crosses into the box or into dangerous areas, and we didn't really put them into the vicinity of Juki or Scott Hogan. Gary Gardner, he will always make the runs into the box. And as I say, we just didn't put enough quality into them areas and ask them enough questions. So that was the disappointment. And that's what I mean. When you are in the final third, you need to produce that little bit of quality and that little bit of magic. And that's just what's lacking from the game at the moment.
16 games remaining, Hearts. Sheffield Wednesday up next. They've made Hillsborough a bit of a fortress of late. I mean, from a Blues team news point of view, the gaffer revealed that Sam Cosgrove sustained an injury, twisted an ankle, so likely to be doubtful for the game. Harley Dean was treated for a knock in that game against Millwall too, but hope for he'll be available. But Sheffield Wednesday, like we say, it has been a decent hunting ground for Blues, but got a bit more life in them than they had in the first half of the season.
Yeah, certainly. I think their record, in the last 5 games, they've won 5, haven't they, out of 5 at home, and don't concede many. They're not massive scorers either. They are quite, tightly contested games. But you're right. They've certainly got a little bit of momentum going. I know they had a defeat the other night at Stoke, a late goal. But, listen, you look along their squad list and the team that they play. There's some really good, solid, strong championship players. They're good players. Barry Bannon obviously has just signed a new deal as well. The skipper of the team, everything flows through him. So it's going to be a very tough game again. And I think I talk rank. I said it after the game. There's no easy ones in this league. It doesn't matter who you come up against, and we've probably seen that, haven't we? In Luton at home, and Sheffield Wednesday are going to be no different. If the teams are fighting at the bottom, they're going to still give you a real tough game. And again, it's about rolling the sleeves up and dusting yourselves off from the other night, and trusting in the work rate, the effort, and you will turn the corner eventually. You've got to keep believing. That's all we can do at the moment. That's all the players can do, and hopefully something a little bit of fortune maybe. But again, I go back to it. You need to really start asking questions of the opposition and scoring goals, because ultimately that's what's going to win us games.
Yeah, a word on their interim manager, Neil Thompson, since he took over, 5 wins and 3 defeats in the league, stepped in towards the end of 2020, as you mentioned, on the receiving end of a 1-0 defeat. Former player Stephen Fletcher scoring against them as well. You've already mentioned some of the players in there, but they always seem to have good players on an individual basis. It seems to be the problem of cohesion at Sheffield Wednesday. But you've mentioned Barry Bannon. I mean, Callum Patterson's top goal scorer has been there and done it. Adam Reach has quality. Tom Lee's an experienced player as well. They play 3-5-2 cards. How crucial are wing backs in that system? It's a specialist position. Does the whole strategy, does that shape hinge on how good your wing backs are?
Yeah, they're a massive part, especially, if you play a 5 or, obviously 3 at the back and push the wing backs further on. They are key. They're pivotal, really, because they're the ones you're trusting to obviously give you the width when going forward, but also get back in and do their defensive duties. So I think you see teams that play that have always got energetic and fit guys in them positions, and can go both ways. So you mentioned their formation there. Obviously, Blues matched up Millwall pretty much the same the other night, and I thought he worked well. I thought they, especially first half, won their 1v1 battles, and especially in that midfield third, I thought the 3 in midfield for Blues were very good. So they're going to need to be exactly that on Saturday, and try and nullify what Sheffield Wednesday will want to do, and within that game plan, then press with intensity, and when they do win it back, be good with the ball. Again, that's something the other night that was disappointing. It's key when you're on the road and you come under pressure or you're without the ball for periods. When you do get it, you need to make it count. So I'm sure if I was Aitor Karanka going into the game, maybe matching them up again, it worked well against Millwall. But as I say, have a bit more of an attacking threat going the other way.
And could a win on Saturday be the catalyst that we need? It just feels like there's a spark. You're 1 win away from changing the whole complexion. The table is as such that nobody is out of reach at the moment. It's still very tight at both ends of the table. And it would be so Blues to go to an informed side like Sheffield Wednesday or even Norwich next Tuesday, get that win and then start to put some momentum together.
Yeah, that's it. If you've been a Blues fan for a long time, like we have, it's always one of them, isn't it? You never know what to expect, and always got to find a way of surprising us a little bit. So yeah, you're right though. Looking at the table, that's probably one of the brighter notes at the moment, is that it is very close. It is very tight. I said it before the game the other night that it's important that you don't allow teams to get away from you. That points difference getting any higher or any bigger. So it's important, especially with Sheffield Wednesday being close to us in the table, that we go and we pick up a result. A win would be fantastic, obviously, and it gives you a massive boost. It claws them back towards us, and you can start clawing your way back up the league. So as I said, we need to turn the corner in quickly. You don't want to allow give yourself a mountain to climb, and winning breeds confidence. That's evident in football all the time. You get that momentum, that winning mentality. Again, it can trigger a real positive for your season.
Yeah, Carter, we always finish with a prediction. I know it's difficult, but can you see Blues getting something from Hillsborough?
I'm always optimistic, and again, I did see good signs at Millwall. Again, if they can add that bit of quality in the final third, and get a couple of goals, I fancy them to get a result. I really do. So if I'm going to put my neck on the line, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Blues win.
Love the optimism, Carts. Well, it's Ollie Klink and Roger Johnson taking you through this one on Blues TV, available to both UK and international subscribers for just £10 pay-per-view. We hope you can join us.
And how fitting that it should be a true Blue born and bred who took them there.